pilots, welcome on Glider Aviator channel. Now you're watching the video about one particular mistake that I think many of us sometimes do, and it's usually punished by significant slowdown on the task speed. Which mistake am I talking about and how to avoid it? Let's start the task to find out.
Task started.
As an example, I'll show you a part of one of my flights where I unintentionally trapped myself into that mistake. I also try to explain what I could have done better in order to avoid this situation, so you can take some lesson from my experience and maybe improve your flying skills. And of course, if you have better idea or tip, or maybe you've been through the similar situation and you would like to share, just write down the comment. And if you like this kind of video, just let me know by clicking on the like button. And if you would like to support my channel and see more footage from me, the subscribe button is just for you.
So I'm closing to the second turn point to the Vichy Brod. I'm 23 kilometers right now to the turn point left. My average speed at this time is 103 kilometers per hour, and so far so good.
So now some facts to put yourself in the shoes of my situation. The flight is planned to use almost all thermal interval, so it's better not to be slow. The weather is very good, and at this particular leg I have a backwind, which is good, and the weather is expected to get even better. The task speed is rising, which is expected due to the backwind. I just want to fly as fast as possible, as always. I need to admit that these facts puts me into quite aggressive mood. Does this ever happen to you? Let me know. Now here we are, and let's see what is happening. I'm just a couple of kilometers before the turn point, and there is an overdevelopment cloud left of the track with some remaining lift possibly. Directly on the track is a gap with some probably inactive Fractus clouds ending with big juicy cumulus which may or may not be beyond the turn point. I remember it was hard to say. And right of the track are some clouds, but they are off course. Now I'm passing through some lift area where I gained like 150 meters without circling and trying to decide what to do.
The terrain is a little bit higher in here, and it would be nice to be higher than I am right now. Actually, as I'm closer, I can see that there are no distinguished cloud base in the dark. I'm changing my mind. I will go a little bit more to the right, and then beneath this big towering cumulus on the left. Yeah, let's go for it. I'll be a little bit lower there, but the cloud over there looks nice, so I think it's manageable.
Here comes my decision. As I climbed a little, I took a short direct way, hoping that the juicy cloud is not beyond the turn point.
Totally manage it. Fly fast. Is there some light? Let's see how it goes.
As I'm getting closer, I can see that I misjudged the distances and the cloud is not where I expected it to be. So plan B is just to reach the turn point first while slowing down to extend my range, and then maybe try to find something to climb a little to get to the cloud I was aiming before.
It was a bad choice. That was a bad choice. It was not the smartest decision I ever made, but yeah. Oh yeah, that's nice. I hope I'll get the climb in here and I will follow this line of the clouds over there. But first thing first, find the lift.
And now the struggle begins. And this struggle is not about the fear of outlanding, because there is still many options how to stay aloft. I can still turn to lower ground 90 degrees, of course, to get more potential energy, thus to get the time to find the lift with more outlanding possibilities. This struggle is just about keeping average speed as high as possible. Now first attempt to climb. Nope. Not strong enough, but I need to gain some height.
Yeah, here it is. $1 meter, better than nothing. 1.2, getting better. I hope it will get better over 2 meters soon. I'm still so low, but I need to go maybe more to the south where the sun is.
Just for the record, here I spent roughly 4.5 minutes to gain 140 meters of altitude.
Let's continue more to the sun.
Now second attempt. In this thermal I spent about 1 minute to gain 90 meters. Can see some aircraft climbing ahead higher.
Oh, there are two gliders, I see them.
Finally, good lift and I'm back in the game.
Finally, 2 meters. Yes! 3 meters. 3.9er. Yahoo! From the ground, straight from the ground, yeah. Started on 2. Now 4 meters climb, 3.6. In average 2.7.
Yes, the euphoria is back, but I could have been much faster. What I could have done different? Let's go back to the beginning. The solution would be simple. We are back in the moment where I was about to do the decision to jump straight to the distant cumulus. I could have just realized that this jump through worse condition is ahead of me and I should take the weaker climb instead of desperate searching for any climb later after the turn point, and I had a perfect opportunity to do that right here. Do you hear the vario sound? Here I flew through lift area straight, and there could have been at least 1.5 meter climb in average, maybe 2 meters. My aggressive mood was telling me that this is below the average and McReady setting, but considering the conditions ahead, it was not that bad. Here is why. My altitude at that time was a little above 1600 meters and cloud base was 2200-ish, so I could have gained at least 500 meters at that point, which would take me 5.5 minutes maximum. This altitude would give me the chance to fly at least 14 kilometers further without slowing down. Instead of this, I forced myself to slow down to almost optimal speed and take this first half meter to take 140 meters where I spent 4.5 minutes, and second climb in average 1.3 meter where I took just 90 meters, spending here another minute. When I sum it up, it took me 5.5 minutes to gain just 230 meters before I hit proper climb. And when I take into consideration the slower speed, this mistake took me almost 9 minutes. Speed-wise, it means that this mistake slowed me down by 7 kilometers per hour at that moment on my average speed. So, why I did this poor decision? Do you remember the moment at the very beginning when I was trying to describe the situation and I was giving you the facts like that I was expecting weather improvement, that I had the backwind and that I had the desire to fly as fast as possible, etc. These are just perfect cocktail to trap yourself in this mistake. It gives you aggressive mood, it makes you doing the brave decisions, but it leads also in this kind of mistakes. This is also amplified, especially when flying on gliding competitions. If you remember these facts and if you successfully identify them while cross-country flying, the big exclamation mark should pop up in your mind during every riskier or maybe aggressive decision you are about to make. It should help you to realize that you should also consider taking a little weaker lift or maybe a lift below the average before it's too late. Have you ever heard a well-known glider pilot principle, get high, stay high? This video is supposed to be a great example of its meaning and its importance. So the big lesson here is that flying aggressive style is not always the fastest option, and it's sometimes good to slow down to be quick. So now I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to click on the buttons just below the video to give me some feedback, and maybe you can consider watching some other videos around me, and get high, stay high.